News today and yesterday, the day before, we had Google Labs is testing Opal. It's a vibe coding app. Lets you build apps from simple text prompts, which is the core of what vibe coding is. We have 72% of US teens are engaging with AI companions. So, like a chat GPT girlfriend, right? There's a lot more sophisticated ones than just that, though. Google shuts down the Cat Watchful spyware campaign. So there was a spyware that exposed over 62,000 user emails and passwords. Tesla quietly launched a limited robotaxi service in San Francisco. Meta fully halts political ads in the EU this October, citing unworkable compliance demands. Another win for the regulators. EU has a lot stricter AI tool regulations. Gen Z is rewriting work culture, demanding flexibility, purpose, and mental health support. 72% leave jobs that don't deliver. Google's new AI now lets US users try on clothes virtually. You just need to upload your photo. A startup, an AI startup that just got funded, pledged no acquisition. So that's like an interesting clause they wrote in their term sheet that says that they will not sell, basically. But we'll see how that works out. And NATO Innovation Fund. So, lots of big organizations will actually have like VC funds. Trying to think of another example. But yeah, they have their own fund, and it hits 10% of all VC investments in Europe are in defense tech. We see that in the US too. The US just closed like a few months ago, huge contracts, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, with OpenAI and Anthropic over defense tech. You probably all heard the news. Sam Altman mentioned that your conversations with ChatGPT could be subpoenaed, which I don't think is actually big news. All of your search history could always be subpoenaed, and it's no different with ChatGPT. Ultimately, all platforms can release your private data, text conversations, for example. One lawyer on TikTok, I remember she said that if you're going to be in any kind of court case, trial, divorce, assume every single text will be read out loud in court. If you don't want it read out loud in court, it's worth a phone call. Well, the same goes true for if you ever get in any court case and the court can subpoena your text conversations, and it's no different from them subpoenaing your search history or your entire interaction with ChatGPT. Some platforms are a lot harder for authorities to get data from. They have lots of basically pitfalls and, loopholes and like extra red tape that, authorities have to go through to get the data. Supposedly, some platforms in the past have pledged to fight for their users' privacy in those situations. In the past, Snapchat has. Don't get me wrong, they still work with authorities, and you can actually look up exactly how many people's info they have released in court cases. I did at one point years ago, but Snapchat used to be one of the ones that would really, really, really make it hard for authorities to get that info. Again, I don't know if that's still true, but this is not old news. What is news is that Sam Altman made a statement about it publicly, which was great because people actually aren't aware of the law and don't think about that stuff. I don't think it's any surprise that our stuff is fully monitored all the time. That's just how data works, right? So, oh, by the way, we're reading the Startup Club newsletter right now. It is a really great newsletter by Slidebean. Slidebean literally made a free resource that was their actual financial statement. So they released their Google Sheets so that you could, see in a real life example of a startup's financial statements and financial model. Oh, this is really cool. This is an ad, but really relevant for creators. Roku has a plan now. So for just $500, small businesses can do a video campaign. So it's getting easier and easier for small businesses to actually have video ads on the TV to streaming platforms. I remember seeing even Kevin O'Leary had some kind of package deal because he works with a lot of media outlets, and he has kind of like, tiered deals for marketing campaigns. And a lot of them were a lot lower than you'd think, as much as like $2,000 for this huge campaign, and it would be on an actual TV and stuff like that. Recently, a new startup called Byte Site, it's a YC startup, Y Combinator backed. They became an overnight sensation. It was created by 24-year-old Lucius McDaniel IV and Zach Schulwolf, and it's a food delivery app, and it went viral on TikTok, and it already has over 100,000 users. The McDaniel sister posted a playful presentation video introducing the app. It ended up getting millions of views and led to the app becoming number 2 in the App Store food and beverage category with over 100,000 users, and already has restaurant partnerships, and I'm sure they have VCs giving them offers. So this isn't a surprise that this is so successful. They are only available in New York, and they are actually competing with DoorDash and Uber Eats. So they got some big competitors, but I think it's no surprise we all look on TikTok first when we're looking for food, because we want to see real people's engagement with it, real people's reviews. We want to see inside the restaurant. We want to see, so it's no surprise that this app was so successful overnight. We're coming to you live from downtown Los Angeles, by the way. All right, moving on. Next, ChatGPT rolled out study mode. So instead of just giving you an answer, it interacts with you a little more, asks you questions, helps you get to the answer, gives you more info. Notebook LM is rolling out video creation. So if you aren't familiar, Google Notebook LM, you give it like a PDF and it'll give you a podcast, like a really good podcast reading, and it's really good at summarizing info and reading it back to you. Well, they're finally rolling out a video version. So you're actually going to have like a speaker, like the podcast video version of the podcast. We'll get into it later in the Sifted or in the Influencer Weekly, that the video podcasts have already become like 4 times bigger than the audio podcast as far as like market cap goes. So, and it's no surprise that, the video is going to be better way for people to learn. So this is pretty big news. There's a new software. This is an ad for it, but I'm really excited about it. It is a team of AI agents that is on your desktop. So you actually install it locally, and it's an entire team of, imagine like 10 ChatGPT that could actually function on your computer and do tasks, and they all work together. That's what this is basically. And if you haven't heard, so Facebook has been going around, it's headed by Mark Zuckerberg himself, has been going around and poaching all of the top talent in AI in Silicon Valley. And recently, someone got offered a $1 billion and they turned it down. They turned Zuck down for $1 billion with a B signing bonus. Crazy times. So ChatGPT study mode is available for everyone, and it will be available soon for the ChatGPT EDU integration. It's coming. There's lots of versions of chat. There's even like I said, the military defense chat that we obviously can't see, but there's lots of versions. Okay, I'm actually really interested in this. It's called eGent, like EIG Gent AI. It is the world's first, I don't know about that, world's first, but it's a multi-agent workforce desktop application. I am really interested in this because you can build integrations like that with like NAN, and you can go and hand make, workflows with AI agents, but this is something more like what I need. It's again, this is vibe coding. It's vibe coding with a team of AI agents, if you will. Yes, the Notebook LM video. Again, a little more details on that. It automatically pulls images, key data, and direct quotes from your source material into the video. You can direct the AI to create a video for a specific audience, whether that's an expert or a beginner. And it lets you create a wide variety of different summaries, audio, video, or even mind maps in a single notebook. And it is ideal for someone studying for an exam or needs learning different types of summaries for different purposes. And it's currently only available in English, but it'll be available in other languages soon. I'm going to use this, and I will get back with you on an update on that because I'm really interested in creating some how-to videos with it, actually, and some recaps. Here's the story of Zuck's $1 billion offer. I'm assuming he offered her $1 billion and she said, no, I'm good. So, okay, here's what's been happening. CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, personally is messaging potential hires on WhatsApp. Over a dozen researchers at Thinking Machines Lab were approached by Meta. This story is from TechCrunch, by the way. Offers ranged from $200 million to $500 million, with one TML researcher offered over $1 billion with a B. So far, TML has not lost any employees to Meta's aggressive hiring push. Some recruits are uninspired by Meta's product roadmap for its AI. There are also concerns about the leadership of Meta's new AI superintelligence lab. Wow, TML Labs, they did not lose a single employee. I'm trying to remember who's the owner of that. Oh yeah, here it is. It's the ex-OpenAI CTO, Mira Murati, who is that's his company, his startup. It's called the Thinking Machines Lab. I don't remember what they do. Some other updates in AI news. Microsoft launched Copilot podcasts, and you can create custom bite-sized episodes on any topic using AI speakers. Don't sleep on Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is actually right there with everything else, hanging tough and doing some crazy stuff. They all have their own strengths, right? Google introduced AI mode. It features include photo uploads, Canvas planning tools, and real-time search live assistance for enhanced learning. I'm not sure if that's for browse. Let's see here. One sec. Who else here? These are just ads. Bear with me one moment here. Here's some cool new AI tools that come out. I just like, so many come out every day. If you're not familiar, make sure to use what can AI do today is .com. It is a really useful website. So you search for what you're trying to do. Like, let's say I'm trying to, have an AI agent edit my video. You can search that and it'll list all of the AI tools available to do that task. It's a really useful search platform because there's so many coming out so fast. So some cool new ones. Vista Social, it generates brand aligned social posts, schedule content, and analyze performance using AI, which Linktree does now, by the way. If you haven't used Linktree recently and you're a creator and you have a business account, they just rolled out a new native feature like built in that it actually will like look in your industry, see what's trending right now, and give you an actual script for making content, a script, and tell you what you need to write about, like what's trending. Is just like in that moment, you know what I mean? Like it can look right now with all of the tools. You just have to spend thousands of dollars to get that kind of info on the fly. And now it's just integrated. Shout out Linktree. Linktree is absolutely killing it. They also rolled out the pay per download feature. If you have like an ebook or something, you can actually host it on your Linktree now. It's a big deal. Just Done is a new tool. Create content, humanize text, paraphrase, check facts, summarize all in one AI suite. So this sounds crazy, but you use AI to fact check AI. You use AI to like make things not sound like AI. So these are workflows, and it sounds silly, but it makes perfect sense if you think about it, because every AI tool is trained on different source material. They all can do different things. So this, it sounds crazy, but like it's really important to understand that this is a real and functional thing. And this is why people use like platforms like NAN, where you get to like drag and drop and create whole workflows of like automated processes, right? So like just like this one just done, it'll go through and actually work on like making whatever chat said not sound like a robot. It'll go through and double check all the info that like Gemini, made a whole research paper on, stuff like that. Nota, NOTTA, automatically transcribe meetings in 58 languages, summarize action items, and integrate with CRM tools. This is a really big deal because I'll just like be at like a really long meeting, like 45 minutes long, and I'll just like record it like with the general mic, like a room mic. And it's really, a lot of times the info is really dense, and it'll take so long to go through it and try to summarize it myself. And it's so great to be able to just, first, I'll just like transcribe it. So I'll have like an actual written transcription, but that's still too much to process. Then I'll have that summarized into key points, which again, you can do that with any LLM, but what's different is a lot of these are optimized and they do it a lot better. All right, moving on. That was Recap Play AI. Recaply is a really great newsletter. All right. So now we're going to be reading Influence Weekly. If you're an influencer in the creator economy, this is a must. This newsletter, it doesn't get any better. It is dense. It's like 50 pages long. It's incredible every week. Okay, this is really big news. So if you're interested in live streaming and making product commission sales, you're not too late to start doing that. This is just the beginning. So this is in Santa Monica, this creator economy agency called Outlandish. They are founded by a former Chinese social media influencer named William August, has built a comprehensive TikTok shop live stream operation centered on a 12,000 square foot Santa Monica facility with 16 streaming studios producing 2,000 hours plus of monthly content. This company employs over 50 people and operates across 8 global markets, including London, Madrid, and Brazil. This is really, really significant for real. So again, if you want to live stream and do product commission, you're not too late. He leveraged his decade of experience in China's social commerce ecosystem to become one of TikTok Shop's first agency partners during its UK launch in 2021. See the importance of getting to a platform early, right? Like this is why I'm really, really, really into Substack, because it's going to be so successful. It's already there, if you ask me. And because you want to really integrate early on, because right now I can communicate directly with the devs. So when you're there on a platform and helping it grow and like, learning how to do stuff and creating useful resources, that's how you do it. That's if you're serious about being an influencer in that creator economy career. And if you're trying to like, you know what I mean, come up and you weren't just like close to it already. So he was an incredible salesman. He was there for 10 years in China in this whole like live streaming sales market. And okay, yes. So Outlandish's performance-based model takes commission on sales rather than charging flat fees, and the company will terminate underperforming clients after 3 months. Now, that's not its employees, that's its clients. So if they have a client that's someone who basically hired you to sell a product for them or whatever, then if their product isn't selling, they're good about making sure they let them go. They have a contract and be like, hey, we're good salesmen. This product just isn't moving. So they have a clause that lets them get rid of them, which is a really smart clause to work in, because that's what keeps things wholesome is the agreements, right? All right, other big news. So Blackstone exits the TikTok bid. So right now we're still in this big, who's going to buy the equity of the TikTok US business? and there's been crazy negotiations all over the place. And the last leading bid, the last person who was looking like they were going to buy it was Blackstone, which is like a really, really big, wealthy corporate conglomerate. And they backed out of the deal. Trump issued another executive order extending the shutdown of TikTok. Again, the algorithm, whenever TikTok is finally sold and a deal is finalized, the algorithm will be gone. The algorithm stays with China, TikTok, ByteDance in China. Whoever buys TikTok will be responsible for developing a new algorithm for it, which is pretty sad, and it's going to change the way TikTok works really big time. And also, the reason that no one keeps buying it is because it's complicated, because people still own a minority stake, like the U.S. government, Oracle, Andreessen Horowitz, and KKR all are for sure going to have an equity stake, like, in the business. Those are the people who are already in it. They're just looking for like the big buyer. Oh, big news. TikTok is actively developing a standalone US version of its app that will be compliant with regulations. And it is reportedly launching in American stores by September 5th. The current version potentially phased out by March 2026, pending sale completion, of course. This strategy aims to preserve TikTok's 170 million US users while addressing regulatory requirements. Oh, I forgot to mention this too about Outlandish, that live TikTok live streaming warehouse in Santa Monica. They have some big clients. They have Crocs and Chemical Guys. Chemical Guys said 95% of TikTok shop purchases come from new customers, which means that what they're doing is working. Basically, they're actively getting a steady stream of new customers, which is important because that means they're just getting a lot of business from TikTok shop. It's effective. And the guy who founded like this Santa Monica warehouse that is in this influencer agency, he had founded Dodo Chocolates, which was the best-selling product at the time in TikTok shop. And they generated $7 million within 6 months. They reached #1 in the food and beverage category within 3 months. And that was I want to say that's back in 2021. Wait, no, demonstrated this approach. Okay, so this is the company Outlandish. They have their own product they own called Dodo Chocolates. And that was kind of their proof of concept. They were like, look how good we can sell at this new facility. And yeah, they absolutely incredible proof of concept with their new facility. They delivered and then some. Here's an interesting infographic. 2025 report, Wondercraft AI. This is a survey for the reason what creators said when asked why they use AI in their creator businesses. And again, I use AI big time in all of my stuff, just for the record. I use it daily on multiple ways. So 24% save time, speed up workflow, 19% converting content into new formats. So either reframing content, horizontal to vertical, or using it for repurposing it for multiple platforms. For actually using it to create creative ideas or alternatives, 18.8%. And for using it to lower production costs, 9.2%. So I use it, I use it for all of these reasons, but they asked what the top reason was. And my top reason is probably saves time, because I use it specifically for video editing. Is my #1 favorite way to use it, because it saves me just so many hours. Big brands are hiring influencers more and more instead of paying for just regular advertising dollars. Victoria's Secret, Sweet Green. This is just cool. I just wanted to share. Logitech G has this is their 6th year doing this. And it's called #Creators4BIPOC initiative. And they do where's it at? Let me read it here. Okay. This July is when they launch it every year. targets Black, Indigenous, and people of color gaming creators through a comprehensive support program. Program operates across 4 pillars: giving, social, live streaming, and learning. Key components include master classes delivered in partnership with Sugar Gamers, providing creators with tools for success in and beyond gaming. They are awarding 4 individuals complete gear packages, complete gear and upgrades. And content creator Karam Cheese will host an esports tournament on the Logitech G Twitch channel, featuring gameplay and a lot of giveaways there. So tune into that. Support BIPOC creators, especially tattoo artists, tattoo creators. There's a lot of work to be done to start to repair some of the divide from all of the gatekeeping, all of the stuff they've been kept out of. Innocent Drinks, I'm not familiar with the brand, but again, they are focusing really hard on their influencers, and like everyone's just, all these big brands are funneling all their money towards the creator economy. Oh, this is really huge news. Oh my God. So I'm really excited about this because me and Clover have been talking about this for years. Roblox launches IP licensing platform connecting creators with major entertainment brands. So for example, if you are building a world in Roblox and you want it to be all Stranger Things themed or all Twilight themed, you want to use all of their skins and all of their stuff, now Roblox is making it really easy for people to do that and like automated, so brands can handle it and so can creators, like business to business, and they just get a cut of like the money made from like whatever transactions happen there with those Roblox worlds. And that's the core concept basically. So small creators are getting able to access licensing deals with big name brands. And I've been advocating for this in the tattoo industry as well. And this is the importance of why, you know, I'm involved in the case with like Kat Von D versus Jeff Sedlick, where you have like a really, really big creator using a small creator's IP without paying for licensing. My whole perspective is, hey, let's like really open up. The licensing is good. It's laying the foundation for much, much more lucrative business, where when you have these creator to business licensing deals going on like this, you're creating a huge new economy. So this is the future that we talk about and advocate for. And this is a proof of concept for that. So Roblox launched a new IP licensing platform that streamlines partnerships between major entertainment companies and creators on this gaming platform. Excuse me. It is called the Roblox License Manager, and it transforms previous months-long licensing negotiations into a process taking days or even hours. Launch partners include Stranger Things and Squid Game with Netflix, Twilight, Saw franchise with Lionsgate, Like a Dragon with Sega, and Kodansha with, Blue Lock with Kodansha. I don't know what that is. The platform provides IP holders with self-serve tools to register license, customize usage terms, scan for unauthorized use, and automatically collect revenue shares. The initiative builds on Roblox's expanding creator economy, where, listen to this, Roblox is such a big thing for creators. Do not sleep on Roblox. I mean, it's one of the biggest things in the world. It's $923 million in 2024 is what creators earned. It's been a 25% growth year over year as far as what creators are earning on there. And 2025 projections are expected to exceed $1 billion with a B for the creator economy. The platform serves 97.8 million daily active users, with research showing 82% are totally cool with and appreciate branded content. Roblox plans to open the license manager to all IP holders soon, exploring additional license types beyond full experience adaptations. So maybe you can even, like, if you sell some product inside Roblox and you want to make it like Twilight themed, this isn't possible yet, but they're working towards that, where you can do that and then they get their cut automatically, you know? This is the future we dreamed of. Me and Clover have been talking about this for over a year now, and that is just a beautiful thing. I'm like emotional about it. A lot of big companies and platforms are starting to work with creators to help them scale, get them up to speed, help them succeed. One great example is Substack. They have a creator fund. So like for like tens of millions of dollars, they are finding creators and funding them so that they can be more successful and make more revenue. And they're creating like lots and lots of good tools to help creators succeed. So Substack is really good about this. They have all kinds of, if you go and look, it'll tell you exactly what content to post when, what they're boosting right now. You know, right now, like Substack, you don't have to guess like you do on Meta. Meta, you're always like, oh, what's going on with the algorithm? Why am I shadow banned? Like Substack and Pinterest does this really well too. They are straight up like right now, they're like, listen, we want you to do live streams with other creators on Substack. So schedule live streams every day with other creators on Substack. Use our post directly to YouTube from Substack feature. Use our post to podcast feature direct from the live stream. So they set it up so that you can live stream and with another creator on Substack. It doesn't have to be on Substack either. You can just text someone a link and they can still join, and then use all of their tools basically with it. And they also tell you they're looking for people to be consistent with their posting. So they want to see you posting like every single day. And I can't remember what else, but they're really clear about everything. Oh my God. Do not cross perfume talk or you will regret it. So beauty incubator Slate Brands faced swift backlash from perfume talk. They launched this AI agent, like this, they launched an AI influencer. And they called it the first AI perfume influencer. And this was on Instagram on July 10th. Now, here is the aftermath. The perfume talk creators seen it as a personal affront. And man, did they respond. They included, so all of Perfume Talk, including 2025 Sephora Squad member Elise Grenier and others, they publicly criticized the AI perfume influencer, and they got a lot of people to block the account. And everyone was saying that the fragrance marketing relies on genuine human experience, actually smelling products and sharing authentic reactions, which obviously an AI cannot replicate. And by Tuesday, so this was just a few days after launch, Slate had wiped the account's post and issued an apology stating that they missed the mark. Oh my God. And then the account was just fully deleted the next day. Like it was worse than that. They had to just fully delete the account. And the CEO, not a rep, but the actual CEO, Judah Abraham, came out and said that while the company remains interested in AI as a creative tool, it doesn't plan to replace human influencer partnerships, which remain central to their marketing strategy. Oh boy. All right. I'm not worried about the AI influencers. I think you're never going to be able to take away the human business. I'm not saying it won't impact the economy, but ultimately, like the more AI influencers and stuff there are, the more we're going to see IRL events, newsletters, off-platform marketing, stuff like that. Let's see here. PacSun dropping more dollars on creators instead of traditional marketing. Oh, TikTok just rolled out a bunch of new creator tools. It's called beta songwriter features. So TikTok rolled out new music discovery capabilities. I don't know if y'all recall, but back in like 2020, TikTok was supposed to be like the next the next Spotify, right? And everyone was really excited, but then it kind of like trickled off because they had all this heat from all of the big music corporations, which turns out are extremely powerful. So powerful that TikTok wasn't worried about them. They were going to roll out this whole new music thing, and that got shut down like completely, basically. Yeah. TikTok, yeah. It just goes to show how powerful these big music industries are. Big music industry companies are, like Warner Brothers and stuff like that. So the new suite allows songwriters to tag profiles, curate music in dedicated tabs, and share backstories within TikTok's ecosystem. developed from feedback by 871 songwriters. I'm really excited about this, actually. This marks TikTok's return to musical roots. It was originally musical.ly, focused on lip syncing before viral audio trends drove chart hits. The timing is strategic as the platform faces potential ban pressure and is looking for revenue diversification. So it's cool that they came back to the music thing. Some key market data shows 80% of songwriters use social media for promotion. That's no secret there. 53% post on TikTok specifically. And independent artists now drive 48% of all streaming revenue for music, making this creator segment valuable for platform growth. Warner Chappell Music and other major labels are backing the rollout. Yeah, see, the other major music labels are actually involved with all of this stuff now. It's so crazy. I can't imagine how powerful. But anyway, that's really great news for songwriters. This is a really big deal. We're seeing half of music streaming revenue is from indie artists. I mean, we've never had, I know everyone like is really upset about like Spotify and all this stuff, but it was much darker before. I'm not saying it's all good now or anything, but as far as like independent musicians go, things are like 100 times better now than they've ever been. And the opportunities are countless compared to when there was literally not even a chance. There used to not even be a long shot, opportunity. But now there's like, you can really bootstrap it. Brands are starting to hire their lead sales agents from influencers. So we're starting to see, for like the first time ever, tech companies, instead of hiring like experienced sales agents, whether they're out of college or industry professionals, they're starting to hire them actually from influencers. Because if you can sell, you can sell on social media, and you can actually track, it's called your conversion rate, and that's like the percentage of how many times someone who clicks on an affiliate link actually purchases the link. And that's one of the best ways to measure if someone's good at sales, because if someone goes and clicks on whatever your link for whatever product, but doesn't actually buy it, and they like never buy it, and your like conversion rate is like, just barely between like 0 and 0.5%, that is really bad. But if it's above 3%, then you're doing really good at sales. So it's always interesting like that. All right. Some more industry news. YouTube and Netflix battle for content creators. Netflix is intensifying its competition with YouTube for creator talent and content. For example, the reality series Inside and dating show Pop the Balloon were those were okay. So let me start. So Netflix successfully adapted YouTube hits like the Sidemen's reality series Inside and dating show Pop the Balloon for its platform. Netflix unscripted chief Jeff Gaspin is leading the charge. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos views YouTube as a farm league where creators develop content at their own risk, while Netflix offers upfront funding for more ambitious efforts. The strategy mirrors Mr. Beast Games' deal, but results have been mixed. Inside performed comparatively on both platforms, while Pop the Balloon Live underperformed with only 1 million hours viewed. Gaspin acknowledged Netflix should focus on using the essence of YouTube concepts rather than direct transitions, creating longer form content that works better for streaming audiences. So they're, it's early days. They're figuring out it's clunky. It's not going great. We all know what the problem is. They're trying to do it too big budget. No one knows exactly what the problem is, but they're figuring it out. And the truth is, no matter what, they're going to keep trying, and we're going to see more and more and more YouTube original series developed into actual like full on showrunner budgets, like on Netflix and stuff like that, Tubi, Peacock, all that. It's happening. And right here is proof of concept. Social media giants target connected TV as boundaries blur. Social media platforms are developing TV apps because YouTube's dominance. So, of all total TV usage, YouTube has captured 12.5% of that, according to Nielsen data, surpassing Disney and Netflix for 4 consecutive months. The transition presents significant challenges, though. So, vertical video formats that define TikTok and Instagram don't translate well to horizontal. Previous attempts by Facebook Watch and IGTV failed, despite tons of money they threw at it. However, eMarketer analysis notes that the audience have been becoming more accustomed to watching vertical content on TV screens through platforms like YouTube Shorts. Meanwhile, streaming services are partnering with social media creators like Beast Games, for example, and Miss Rachel's content licensing to Netflix. The convergence is affecting advertising strategies, with marketers creating more polished premium content that works across both social and streaming environments. So influencers are stepping it up so that they can run their stuff on TV ads, same content. Interesting. See here. YouTube Shorts algorithm shows significant bias towards entertainment. So we got data that people are like, when they're scrolling on YouTube Shorts, it is more for entertainment, less for educational or reasons. So they looked at 685,842 videos and found that political content relevance drops to near zero after the first recommendation, regardless of user engagement time. Entertainment content dominates recommendations across all scenarios, with algorithm favoring high engagement videos and positive emotional tones over complex or politically sensitive topics. I think any of us recognize this when we watch reels on or videos on, whether it's YouTube Shorts, Snapchat Spotlight, or Facebook. It's always the classic, like really, you see a lot of the same videos we're used to seeing, the classic, really engaging ones that are just entertainment focused. Twitch is testing vertical video so it can compete with TikTok and Instagram Reels, because listen to this. Twitch is declining viewership 6.9% year over year, despite maintaining 58.9% of the total market. So of all live streaming, Twitch has 58.9% of it, but their viewership is going down. That's pretty fast, 6.9% year over year. So they're headed downhill. And meanwhile, YouTube gaming grew 25% in the same period. Also, TikTok is making a huge push towards the live gaming. Because if you're trying to be a live gaming, I just went through this actually. I had TikTok Studio. I have the software set up on my computer, and I was live streaming using it. Works really good. It actually records my entire session. It has all the face filters, the audio is fixed, and everything. And it's really incredible. But I read, like, obviously, like what we're reading today. I do this on TikTok, except it's vertical, and it is just not set up for that, because it detects movement on the screen. So I had that issue of it just constantly being like, hey, you're not, like, your screen isn't moving, because they really want you to be gaming. So if you are a gamer, though, there's a big opportunity there to do your gaming on TikTok. And also, you can use the Restream.io, and you can do it from, like, TikTok and other platforms. Because I go live on, like, right now I'm live on Facebook and on YouTube Live. So that's the beauty of these platforms. Oh, speaking of that, just going to take 1 second here real quick to confirm we are live. Am I going live on both? I'm just going to check real quick here. Yeah, I'm not showing that I'm live on YouTube, interestingly. All right, well, anyways, moving on. That's what's crazy about using the streaming software, is that you just got to trust that it's working. which is just wild. What a way to live. All right. Moving on. Instagram is now testing auto scroll features. So various like selected users will have access to this auto scroll feature. So you don't have to, supposedly it increases their engagement time, the time on app by a couple percent. Gen Z is, let's see here, using TikTok and LLMs for career advice. Yeah, that's old news. Yet another company, a new startup for end-to-end influencer to brand like marketing campaigns. So slowly and methodically, a lot of startups are trying to cut out talent agencies. So if you're a creator, if you want to be a professional influencer and make money like full-time as a influencer, your entire goal in life is to get a talent manager because they work directly with the social media companies. So like, you know, let's say YouTube is going to roll out new features. So they'll have a meeting with several, like the actual executives, like the CEO or executives will have a meeting. They'll have an entire presentation ready, and they'll invite all of these talent agencies, CEOs, and like, you know, and operations and stuff like that. They'll have them come out. They do their little presentation. They tell them exactly like what their whole initiative is over the next 6 months, what the algorithm's going to do, what they're looking for. And then the talent managers, they take and give that info to the people they represent. And that is how things roll out. And they do that because it gives them a higher degree of control over, you know, the way the rollout is going to work. They need to be able to like actually monitor the data, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's in these big brands' interest to continue rolling it out the way they are, with like having more control over the things. And a lot of these startups, don't get me wrong, they're going to be plenty successful. There's plenty of money out there. The creator economy is huge. But I'm starting to see quite a few of them, and they're all are the same thing. It's like, if you're a smaller business, it's an opportunity to be able to use influencers to market, because you can like basically hire influencers through their platform for a reasonable price, and you don't have to deal with all the negotiations, blah, 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 all of that. This is old news, but Substack raised $100 million Series C, once again locking them in as winning the battle for who is going to be the next big platform for creators. Substack for life. They are the best. They are going to roll out ads. They weren't going to do ads, but they are going to be doing ads, which is fine with me. Substack is great. Let's see here. There's a new documentary called Bad Influence. It's about child influencers. What's this say about that? Oh, that's just an ad, I think, for the show. Let's see here. We're almost done here with this one. Okay, this article says, can the Washington Post's TikTok guy make it without the post? Dave Jorgensen, the Washington Post's viral TikTok creator with millions of followers, is leaving next month to launch his own video news company called Family Loser. The 34-year-old will base his venture on his personal YouTube channel, Local News International, which combines Jon Stewart-style commentary with Anchorman-inspired absurdist humor. Jorgensen joins two former Post colleagues, including former video director Micah Gelman, in testing whether journalists' personal brands can succeed independently from major newsrooms. The Post's social accounts have over 3 million YouTube subscribers and 1.9 million TikTok followers, but Jorgensen's personal channel remains much smaller. The new company will offer news commentary videos and consulting services for other video creators transitioning from traditional media. Jorgensen cited inconsistent vision at the Post under CEO Will Lewis as motivation for leaving, taking advantage of voluntary buyouts offered to the staff. Oh, he was able to buy out his shares for that were part of his retirement. You know, a lot of times they're called options, and you get like shares in the company, but you can't just cash them out. They're called options because that means when the company goes to sell, or you have some other kind of, you know, predetermined rule basically where you can't sell unless this happens. sometimes if the company needs to raise capital, they'll just like make it so that people can buy their things out, but it's like rare. It sounds like all that was going on, and he was able to actually buy out his shares, and yeah, cashed out, got out of there. He's like, all right. I'm not familiar with the creator, but as far as I'm reading here, I would be shocked if he wasn't very successful. Because, like, how could you miss? You already know how to make viral content. You have all the infrastructure, you have everything. There's no way you can miss. Well, there's always a way you can miss, but okay, we got the story of here. Someone who worked at TikTok for 4 years. They said it was chaotic. It was unsure. They moved around a lot. You know, all the stuff with being in court. Podcasters are making serious big bucks. Joe Budden made $20 million last year on Patreon. Crazy. He accidentally revealed his podcast earnings, apparently. Over $20 million annually. Patreon traffic data showing $900,000 in June earnings alone. Wow. You can use these third-party tools to analyze traffic on certain users' accounts and stuff. And sometimes you can do the math. There's like ways to do it using dev tools to figure out like, you know, how much money someone's making or whatever. It's like, that's kind of where they get this info, right? That's crazy. Oh, he is the platform's top earner with projected 12 million subscription revenue. I do not think Patreon is gonna last with Substack rising the way it is. I can't think of any reason why you would use Patreon instead of Substack unless you were already set up there. And also, if like, let's say you have a big Patreon account and you want to move to Substack, you can just email Substack and be like, hey, pay me to come over. And a lot of times they will. They're actively doing that. They're paying creators to come over to their platform, like a big signing bonus, basically. Video podcasts are booming and creating much needed work in Hollywood. Yeah. Everyone's out of work. I mean, the tech industry, and this is for the whole country, the tech industry had massive layoffs, retail and service, all of it. All right. Video podcasting is creating significant employment opportunities across Hollywood and the creator economy. YouTube reports over 1 billion with a B monthly podcast listeners, with viewers watching 400 plus million hours monthly on TVs, making it the #1 podcast consumption platform. Huh, interesting. The shift is generating a lot of jobs. You know, editors, people who make graphics, you know, camera crews, production. And this is just the beginning, right? This is a whole new niche that's growing lightning fast. So, you know, we even at Underblast, we have podcasts, video podcasts, all that. Like, it'd be crazy not to, right? The revenue potential is substantial. Video podcast advertising could tap into the $108 billion digital video ad market versus just the $2.5 billion in audio podcast advertising. Creator Science founder Jay Klaus tripled his podcast revenue to $60,000 in 2024 after adding video. So what he did, he tripled. So he was just audio and then decided to go video and made 3 times as much that year. But barriers to entry are also much higher because of the full production setups can be really costly, and it's just technically difficult to do. I'm working on creating step-by-step for everyone on exactly how I do my whole setup because it was so hard to figure out, right? I also recommend Substack. They did the complete opposite. When the barrier to entry to get into podcasting has never been so high, they were expensive. Substack made it free, literally. So you can, like, let's say you're a Substack creator, and well, I don't even need to be a Substack creator. Let's say I'm going to do a live stream on Substack. I'm going to have a guest. I text the guest the link to join, and that's all they need. They don't have to have a Substack account. We do the live stream, and then about 30 minutes after it's ended, I get an email saying that, hey, your live stream has finished. Here's the content. And then Substack, and it's always vertical. On your phone right now, it's live only on your phone. So when the live stream's over, they will reframe it horizontal. They will fix the audio with AI tools. They'll retouch it, everything. They retouch it, add really nice captions, and they will even create an audio only file, and you have the option to upload it as a podcast, which is available on YouTube. Mind you, it has a YouTube integration, Substack does. So it'll post your podcast to YouTube, and you can play it on Apple Podcasts, and it will post the horizontal video, the video podcast, to YouTube directly from Substack. So it has fixed, editing. It doesn't edit it down really. Oh, and it even has branded intros and outros. So add like a nice little, fade in intro, fade in outro. So that is, and that no extra, like it doesn't cost you anything as a creator. That's all just included. So shout out Substack for being way ahead of it on that. It's completely insane. Shout out Substack. Huge fan. All right. Well, I still have more news. Maybe I'll give you the best of it. Google Labs launched Opal. It's a vibe coding app that lets you build apps, so text to app building. 72% of US teens are engaging with AI companions. I think I said that. Wait, did we already read this? I feel like we read this. Oh yeah, we read that already. This is really big. Zipu AI dropped GLM 4.5. So basically, we had like kind of another DeepSeek moment. This new AI company, or not new, but this AI company in China, it's like, I think it's Z.ai is the website, I want to say. Their new LLM is beating out all of the other ones. Like it's in the top 10 on the leader charts, and it's a fraction of the costs. And yeah, it's available through Z.ai, and it is literally crushing competition, and it's so much cheaper. Yeah, the new Edge browser for Microsoft lets you like search. It'll like, you can search multiple tabs, so I can have like 5 tabs open, and I can ask it to like analyze information after looking at all 5 tabs, all 5 web pages. So yeah. Oh, where is this? Anthropic has like a limit now on how much you can use it, but they said it's only going to affect 5% of users. They had to cap it. I can't find the number here, but they had to cap it because they were losing so much crazy money from their subscription plan. That's why a lot of AI models do token based, because it's tricky to balance. Zuckerberg announced they hired a former OpenAI researcher as chief scientist of Meta Superintelligence Labs, Shangjia Zhao. So that's someone, he was successfully poached from OpenAI. Alibaba launched WAN 2.2 video generation. XAI is launching. I think it have a early access waitlist maybe for that, for XAI's new video generator from Grok. Google added AI-powered store summaries for U.S. shoppers, generating reputation insights from review partners to improve purchase decisions. That's nice. Google Research unveiled Sensor LM, a foundation model trained on 60 million hours of wearable data for natural language sensor understanding. Wearable tech right around the corner, y'all. I mean, we already got the Meta sunglasses, right? Or Meta glasses. I just checked them out, like the Ray-Bans today, and I was like, whoa. Oh man, I wish I had a pair. I need to get a pair of those. They're too good. They're actually too good. I gotta get a pair. All right, now we're going to take a look at the Rundown AI newsletter. Stanford launched a fully automated AI agent-powered lab of virtual scientists. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. They have an AI principal investigator that assembles specialized agents to conduct meetings lasting seconds instead of hours. Human researchers just needed to intervene 1% of the time. This is for the Stanford AI Agent Lab doing research for novel research. They allowed AI agents to request tools like AlphaFold and to aid in research strategy independently. The AI team produced 92 nanobody designs with 2 successfully binding to recent SARS-CoV-2 variants when tested in physical laboratories. So they are successfully getting novel discoveries with this stuff. That's crazy. They also released the full transcripts of the AI team's reasoning, letting human researchers review, steer, or validate the process as needed. Are those available? I don't see a link here, but I'm interested in checking that out. Oh, here's a link for right here. I'm just going to check this link real quick. Just hang out for a sec while I take a look at this. All right, so I'm reading this. Stanford creates virtual scientists. This is from the Stanford Medicine website. I want to see if they released their papers. Well, anyway, it'll be interesting to see the research papers. I imagine we're going to start getting... Oh, here it is. They posted a paper describing the findings of the study published July 29th in Nature, which is a great magazine. I don't even know what it is, but it has a ton of like peer-reviewed research in it. I've read other articles from there. They're always like really, really good. Okay, yes. So on nature.com articles, they have a full article called "The Virtual Lab of AI Agents Designs New SARS-CoV-2 Nanobodies." So you can actually find the whole article there. I can't tell if it's paywalled or not, but it might be. All right, moving on. All right. Let's see here. All right, another quick look at the Startup Club. Again, a newsletter by Slidebean. Tesla partnered with Samsung in a $16.5 billion deal for AI chips powering driver assistance and robotics technologies. Huge deal. Tesla and Samsung have joined forces for the next several years. Crazy big deal. Astronomer, which is the startup that got in trouble, oh my God, from the CEOs that got caught kissing or like got caught like, you know, like snuggling at the Coldplay concert. That company, oh, you got to read the fallout from that. Or I mean, I'm going to read to you the fallout from that. Here we go. Oh my God. So those two people were both executives, and one of them now former CEO Andy Byron and now former HR chief Kristen Cabot. So they both worked at the same company and both were married. And other companies... Wait, sorry. So what this company did was, it sounds like they fired both of those executives and they hired Gwyneth Paltrow to be a temporary spokesperson for the company. In a video, she said, speaking on behalf of the 300 plus employees at Astronomer. So they hired Astronomer and, it was produced by Ryan Reynolds' production company, Maximum Effort, which is known for its comedic ads. And they capitalized on the controversy. Huh. Interesting. She said, we've been thrilled. So many people have been interested in data workflow animation. Wow. That's crazy that they fired them. Oh yeah, here's what happened. It was a unicorn company. Wow. a unicorn tech company. If you're not familiar, unicorn just means crazy, 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 super like 100 millionaire successful, outrageously successful startup. It's a unicorn tech company called Astronomer. They went mega viral when two of its top executives were caught in a romantic moment on the big screen at a Coldplay concert, in which, the singer was like, "Oh, I hope, they didn't look like they wanted to be on the screen, or whatever." I can't remember, but it went viral. It even made it onto the evening news. And okay, they didn't get fired. It led to the resignations of both executives. They both resigned after all that. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Cottage cheese sales surged 20% as a TikTok fueled recipes went viral, sending manufacturers scrambling to keep up. TikTok finally rolled out scheduling posts from mobile. Before, you could only do it on desktop and it was very clunky. So that is really fantastic news. Instagram edits now added preview, audio, and draft tools. And if you haven't been using Edit for editing video, it is really great. It's a really great app. It's Instagram's solution to keeping up with all the other incredible AI editing tools and keeping up with CapCut, if you will. And it lets you seamlessly swipe between saved content. Edits is better than a lot of other video editors because it has like a lot of UX things. Like I can switch in and out of projects really fast, and it'll even let you save drafts on Instagram now from edits. Meta introduced utilities messages for Messenger. So you can now use Messenger for appointment confirmations, appointment reminders, account alerts through pre-approved templates. So that's a really big deal. Reddit has launched a lot more options for its marketing, its advertising campaigns. So it's now in public beta, but Reddit Ads Manager has a lot of additional options now for automatic bidding and brand awareness. YouTube Music joins TikTok's Add to Music app. We mentioned this earlier, but here's a little more details. TikTok has added YouTube Music to its Add to Music app integration, allowing users to save tracks from TikTok videos directly to their TikTok songs playlist on YouTube Music. The feature, accessible via an add song button in the For You feed, lets users choose their preferred streaming service, which then becomes the default for future saves. So you can finally save TikTok audios, songs to a playlist on YouTube. Wow, been waiting for that literally forever. XChat finally added search, notifications, and blocking tools. Oh my God, huge news. Big win for all creators after a decade of complaints. YouTube eases profanity rules for full monetization accounts. They have finally updated its advertiser-friendly content guidelines to allow strong profanity within the first 7 seconds of a video without impacting full ad revenue eligibility. The shift aligns with evolving advertiser expectations and allows brands to better control their ad placement relative to profanity. However, monetization will still be limited if such language is used in titles, thumbnails, or with high frequency throughout a video. The platform emphasized that community guidelines remain in effect and credited creator feedback as the key to shaping the update. So all you have to do is have consistent feedback from tens of thousands of people for 10 years and they will update it. Good to know. Hey, better late than never is what I say. Instagram has expanded its access to trial reels. Trial reels is a really, really important feature. If you have access to it, you should use it because not everyone has access to trial reels, and Meta actually has explained this a bit. It is not available to all accounts, and it is a privilege to have it. So if you can run trial reels, make sure to do it. Google launches Opal. We talked about that. It lets you build many apps now, text to code. You can, it's called vibe coding, where you just kind of text to generate things. So it can kind of build apps now without being a technical coder. The Google's URL shortener is shutting down officially, which is funny because I never even heard of it. Goo.gl. All the URL links using the shortener are going to close forever in August 25th. Threads has API that lets you use their polls, metrics, and advanced search tools, which is really huge for if you have a website. You can now integrate Threads feature to host polls on your website. That is all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to our first YouTube Live here from downtown Los Angeles and today's Creator News. Thank you to all of you, and thank you to all of these incredible newsletters. I love reading them so much, and every day I'm just desperate for an excuse to read all of these incredible newsletters, so I'm so glad we can do that. And yeah, tune in tomorrow and make sure to reach out and say hi. Let us know if there's any other newsletters that we should check out that I don't have here, because I would love to see them, especially related to anything in the creator economy.